All right, let's find our comfortable seat. The blanket or pillow underneath the hips to support the spine. Ease the hamstrings a little. And we'll begin with rubbing the palms of our hands together, bringing focus and energy into the palms. And then we'll take the fingertips and gently brush them across the forehead, temples, and cheeks, brushing away any worries or expectations. Bring the fingertips to the eyes, palms to the cheeks, turning your attention inward. And take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. When you're ready, you can float your hands down, either keeping your eyes closed or gazing softly downward. Extend the spine up tall, shoulders back and down. Lift your heart with each inhaling breath. Sitting bones sinking toward the earth with each exhale. We'll tune in with 3 ohms. Feel free to join in or just absorb the vibration. Take another deep breath in. Oh. 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 Take a moment to observe the vibrations of the mantra as it connects us all as one. And allow yourself to settle here this Saturday morning. Set an intention for your practice, something you'd like to nurture or cultivate within yourself. Bringing your awareness to your breath. Allow each inhale to bring you here, to this room, to this moment. Allow each exhale to release anything not needed for your practice today. With your next inhaling breath, allow the belly to soften and expand. And as you exhale, draw the belly toward the back. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding on the inhale, contracting on the exhale. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly and open the ribs, reaching them out to the sides. And as you exhale, contract the belly and relax the ribs. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding and opening, contracting and relaxing. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly, open the ribs, and lift the chest, creating space for your heart. And as you exhale, contract, relax, and lower. Continue this full deep breath, expanding your lungs in all directions with each inhale. Completely releasing the breath with each exhale. To continue this full deep breath, with each exhale, imagine roots growing down through your tailbone and your sitting bones into the earth, allowing you to feel grounded and connected. And with each inhale, drawing up energy from the earth. Exhale, releasing anything no longer needed back through the roots to the earth to be recycled. Filling up your spirit and energy with whatever you need from the earth with each inhale. Any worries or difficulties, allow those to release to the earth. Feeling that support that the earth offers. Take one more full, complete breath. And when you reach the end of your exhale, gently return to your natural breath. Taking a moment to notice any changes you feel in your mind or body. Remembering that our breath is always with us to help find those moments of peace and calm. Bringing your awareness to your right hand, allow the tips of the thumb and pointer finger to come together. Then bring those fingertips to your heart center. Turning your attention deeper inward towards your heart. Looking within for your inner light and your inner joy. As you find that connection with the light within you, allow its warm glow to flow on the breath throughout your entire body. As you find that connection with your inner joy, Allow it to radiate up onto your face in a smile. And breathe it out into the space around you. To continue our practice, allow your light and joy to flow through each breath and movement, honoring all that you are in each moment. When you're ready, you can float your hand down, gently open your eyes. And if you'd like to change positions or switch your legs, go ahead and do that. With your next inhaling breath, let's scrunch our shoulders up by our ears. And as you exhale, shoulders back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Once more, lift and squeeze. Back and down. Bring the hands in front of the chest, palms facing down, tucking the shoulder blades down the back, lifting the heart. Noticing if one shoulder feels a little tighter or looser. See if you can balance the engagement of the muscles. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but there's some sawing taking place in my garage. So I'm hoping that you can't hear it. But if not, we'll just use it as an opportunity for concentration. All right, let's press the elbows back toward each other, lifting the heart, squeezing the center of the shoulder blades toward each other, wringing out any tension. Chin is gently lifted while the neck is long. Breathing into the heart. And we'll open the arms wide, turning the palms up. Lift the heart a little more and draw the lower corners of the shoulder blades toward each other. If it feels okay, you could flex the wrists, pressing through the palms. And then let's bring the arms in front, crossing the right over the left, bending at the elbows, hands back to back or left hand around the right wrist or hands at the shoulders. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Chin draws back toward the throat. Gently squeeze the arms together, pressing the elbows away, breathing into the upper back. And if it feels okay, you can gently begin to lower and lift the elbows with the breath. And with your next inhaling breath, if it feels okay, lift the elbows a little higher, gently arching. And as you exhale, round the spine, drop the chin. With the weight of the arms, open the upper back a little more. With your next inhale, come back to center. Exhale, open the arms wide, pressing through the palms, and take a breath here. Draw those shoulder blades down. Then we'll bring the arms in front, crossing the left over the right, bending at the elbows, hands back to back, or right hand around the left wrist, or hands at the shoulders. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears, chin draws toward the throat. Squeezing the arms together or pressing the elbows away, breathing into the upper back. your next inhaling breath, let's lift the elbows up if that feels okay. And as you exhale, gently lower them down. Following your breath, extending that stretch around the shoulders. And with your next inhale, lifting the elbows up a little higher, gently arching if that feels all right. Exhale, rounding, dropping the chin, letting the weight of the arms open the back. And with your next inhale, lifting up tall. We'll unwrap the arms as we exhale, reaching them out wide. Let's tuck the shoulder blades down, nice and tight. And we'll turn the palms up. And then keeping the shoulder blades tucked as you exhale, rotate the arms forward. Follow your breath. We're strengthening those muscles around the shoulder blades, helping them stay in place while we're working on that internal rotation of the shoulders. And we'll soften the shoulders and begin making circles with the wrists. And reverse those circles. Let's bring the hands together at the heart, interlacing the fingers, pressing the palms out in front. Roll the shoulders forward, round the spine, drop the chin. With your next inhale, lift the palms up, gently arching. As you exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. This time as you exhale, drop the chin toward the chest, leaving the palms in the air. Soften the elbows, rolling the shoulder blades back toward each other, squeezing the upper corners of the shoulder blades together. Release through the jaw and the back of the neck. And if it feels okay, press the palms a little higher. With your next inhale, lift up tall. And as you exhale, let's twist to the right, floating the hands down, left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the hip. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, gently twist through the ribs, bringing the chin around toward the shoulder just as far as feels okay. Lifting and twisting with the breath. With your next inhaling breath, if it feels okay, bring your chin over your left shoulder. And as you exhale, bring the chin over the right shoulder. With your next inhale, sweep the right arm up by the ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body, dropping the right hip toward the mat, lifting the heart. Chin is away from the chest as the fingertips reach across the ceiling. Breathing into the right side of the body. Letting go a little more with each exhale. With your next inhale, lift up tall. And as you exhale, come back to the center. Take a breath in and out, just noticing the left and the right sides and what feels the same or different. We'll interlace our fingers, inhale the palms up over the head. Exhale, gently twist to the left and float the hands down. Right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the left hip. Inhale, lifting the heart. Exhale, twisting through the ribs. Head comes around last. Simply hold and breathe. If it feels okay, with your next inhale, turn the chin over the right shoulder. And as you exhale, turn back to the left. With your next inhaling breath, sweep the left arm up by the ear, reaching through the fingertips. And as you exhale, reach across the body, dropping the left hip toward the mat, lifting the heart. Chin is away from the chest as we reach through the fingertips. Breathing into the left side of the body. Letting go a little more with each exhale. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And exhale back to the center. Let's extend our legs out in front of us and go ahead and grab a strap. We'll have our feet extended out, coming to that edge of the blanket or pillow, and wrapping the strap around the arches of our feet, having our feet slightly separated. We'll flex the feet, lengthen the spine up tall, gently tilting that pelvis forward just a little. You'll feel a little engagement in the hamstrings as you, or pulling on the hamstrings as you do that, and a little engagement in the quads. Lengthening up tall, shoulders are back and down. Press through the heels, engaging the quadriceps, drawing the kneecaps up, and then gently pulling with the strap, lengthening the spine tall. See if you can create that resistance as you pull with the strap, push away with the heels, and reach to the crown of the head. A sensation you may notice or tune into is kind of opening the sitting bones. So feeling those hamstrings kind of release, and the sitting bones kind of open out to the sides slightly. It's really a sensation of those hamstrings starting to soften around that connection. Remembering that as we engage the top of our legs, then the back of the legs can begin to soften. Lengthening through your next inhale. If it feels okay with the exhale, you can tilt the pelvis forward, gently reaching out over the legs, finding that spot of that edge where you feel some tightness or tension, stopping there. If you'd like to walk your hands a little closer on the strap, go ahead and do that. And then again, pressing the feet into the strap, pulling back with the hands and lengthening through the spine, pressing the hips out behind us. And again, if it feels okay, lengthening forward a little more. Thinking about the ribs coming toward the thighs. Noticing where you're holding on in the low back or the back of the legs. Noticing those small adjustments of letting go that you can make. With your next inhale, lift up tall. Let's bring the left leg in toward the groin. Foot resting on the inside of the thigh. And we'll keep the strap on the right leg. We're going to turn our torso to face that left knee. Inhale, sweeping the left arm up, gently pulling with the right hand on the strap, and as you exhale, reaching across the body. You can rest your elbow on the thigh or bring it on the inside of the leg. Reaching through the fingertips, softening through the left hip. Seeing if you can get a little deeper than when we just did the earlier twist and side stretch. With your next inhale, lift up tall. And as you exhale, float the hand down. Let go of the strap, bring the right arm over the right leg. Left hand rests on the mat or on the floor about a few inches away from the hip. And we'll move into crescent. You can inhale, lifting the right arm, opening the side body. And if it feels okay, you can come onto the knee and the left hand. Reaching from the fingertips to the toes. Think about tucking the shoulder blades back and opening the heart, gently arching through the low back. And then gently floating down. We'll switch our legs. Left leg extends out, right foot on the inside of the left thigh. We'll bring the strap onto the right foot. Nope, that's right, the left foot. Excuse me. Holding the strap in our left hand, we'll turn the torso to face the right knee. Lengthening up tall, soft shoulders. We'll inhale the right arm up by the ear. And as you exhale, pulling on that strap, we'll reach across the body. If it feels okay, your elbow can rest on the thigh or come onto the inside of the thigh. Right hip drops down, heart lifts as you reach to the fingertips. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. Exhale, floating the right hand down to the mat. We'll release the strap. Left arm extends over the leg. Again, you can inhale, reaching the left arm up by the ear, opening the side of the body. And if it feels okay, coming onto the knee and hand, reaching through the fingertips. Rolling the shoulders back toward each other. Adding a gentle arch if that feels okay. And lowering back down. Come off of our blanket, coming to the center of the mat. Rounding the spine, dropping the chin. We'll gently roll onto the back. Tucking the shoulders under, extending the legs out. Gently scanning up the body, noticing any parts that feel tired, achy, or sore. Honoring yourself and your body by listening to its messages. Pushing yourself to your edge, but not beyond it. And remembering that each time you do yoga, your body is a little bit different. Let's bend the right leg, floating the hands to the knee as you draw it in toward the chest. Lengthen through the neck, soften around the hip. Make some circles with the ankle, stretching the foot as far as it can go in each direction. and reverse circles. Keeping the left hand on the knee, we'll let the right arm drop out to the side, either palm facing down or bending at the elbow. With your next exhaling breath, twist the right leg, over the left side of the body. Right hip comes off of the mat, foot comes across toward the floor. Vision toward the right arm as much as feels okay for your neck. With your next inhaling breath, come back to the center. We'll bring the knee on the outside of the ribs. You can take hold behind the knee or bring the arm on the inside of the leg, taking hold of the arch of the foot. You can also use a strap here. Bringing the sole of the foot to face the ceiling. Knee comes outside of the ribs. Soften through the glutes. Gently letting go. Breathe into the hip. If it feels okay, you can play around with extending your foot. I'm gonna have to move a little because my couch is in the way. Lengthening the leg out. And then bringing the foot back down. Let's bend the left leg, crossing the right foot over, the right ankle over the left thigh. You can gently press that right knee out to the side. Or if it feels okay, lifting the left foot off the floor, taking hold behind the hamstrings or over the top of the shin. Flexing that right foot as you draw the left knee toward the body. Lengthen through the neck, soften through the shoulders. And send the breath to the right hip. Letting go of any worries or frustrations stuck in the hip. Allowing them to float away on the breath. And we'll gently lower down. Releasing both feet to the floor and extending the right leg out. We'll draw the left knee over the torso, gently hugging it in toward the chest. Shoulders tuck under, lengthen through the neck, soften around the hip. Keeping the right hand on the knee, allow the left arm to fall out to the side, palm facing down, or bending at the elbow. With your next exhale, twist over the right side of the body. Left hip comes off of the mat, foot comes across toward the floor. Vision toward your right arm as much as feels okay for your neck. Release the muscles around the hip. Ease the spine into the twist. With your next inhaling breath, come back to the center. We'll bring the knee on the outside of the ribs. And again, you can either take hold behind the knee or bring the arm on the inside of the leg, taking hold of the arch of the foot, or use a strap. Knee eases outside of the ribs, sole of the foot comes to face the ceiling. Soften through the glutes, through the hip. Half happy baby. Gently letting go. If it feels okay, you can play around with extending the leg out. And then gently bending the knee. Swing the right foot to the mat. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Gently pressing out through the left knee if that feels okay. Or lifting the right foot off of the floor, taking hold behind the hamstrings or over the top of the shin. Drawing the right knee toward the torso as you flex the left foot to protect the ankle. Neck is nice and long, soften around the hip. Releasing any anger or anxiety stuck in the hip. Allowing it to float away on the back. And then we'll gently lower the foot down. Extend both legs out for a moment, letting the feet roll out to the side as that feels okay. Shoulders tuck under, arms gently away from the body. With your exhale, letting the body sink into the earth. Now let's bring both knees over the torso, gently hugging them in. Can rock a little from side to side, massaging the low back. Then either rolling to the right side, pressing up with your hands, or slipping the hands behind the knees, kicking the feet over the head and gently rocking them. And let's come forward onto our hands and knees. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Tucking the shoulder blades, softening the elbows. Head extends out, belly draws up. With your next inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the spine, lift the chin. Exhale, tuck the tailbone around the spine, drop the chin, pressing into the hands. Inhale, lifting, spine follows. Exhale, rounding. Follow your breath. With your next inhale, come back to center. We'll walk the hands a couple of inches out, shifting our weight forward over the hands. We're going to work with side plank. So we'll reach the left foot back. And then we're going to shift onto the right hand and right knee. If that doesn't feel good for your wrist, you can also come onto the forearm instead. We'll lift that left arm up toward the sky, rooting onto that left foot. And if it feels okay, you can reach the right foot to the left. Thinking about lifting up through the left hip, so you're pulling up with the right side body, strengthening there, tucking the shoulders, lifting the heart. Let's do one more breath. Bringing the knee down if it isn't there already, bringing the hand down, coming back to the center. Do another little cat-cow, just kind of noticing that right and left side. Then we'll shift our weight onto the left hand and left knee, reaching the right leg out to the side. Right arm comes up toward the sky, tucking the shoulder blade, rooting through that right foot. And if it feels okay, extending that left foot toward the right. Pressing up through the right hips, engaging those left obliques. Shoulder blades are tucked, heart is lifted. I'll bring the knee back down, bring the right hand down. Again, just a little cat-cow. Now let's come forward onto our bellies. Zipping the legs together, hands underneath the shoulders. With your next inhaling breath, lift into a gentle cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. And if it feels okay, you can lift your hands gently off of the mat. With your next exhale, lower down. Let's reach the right arm out to the side, palm facing down. Planting that left hand on the mat. We're going to use it to help us gently roll to the right. So our back is going toward the right arm. Letting the head rest onto the mat as that feels okay. And bending that left foot, bending the left knee, you can place the foot in front of you. Or if it feels okay, you can also bring the foot behind the right leg. If you feel like you want a little more stretch on those pectoral muscles, you can bend the right knee, turning the hips a little further toward the left. And if it feels okay, you could also take that left hand, reach it back toward the right, interlacing the fingers. Notice where you can soften and let go. We'll bring the left hand back to the mat. Extend the right leg out. And we'll roll back onto the belly. Bring both hands underneath the line of vision, and then rest the forehead on the hands. Take a breath here. Then we'll extend the left arm out to the side in a T, perpendicular to the body. Press the right hand onto the mat. And then we're going to roll the body to the left. So the back of the body comes toward the extended arm. You can bend the right leg, placing the foot on the floor in front of the leg. Or if it feels okay, bringing the foot behind the leg. If you feel like you would like a little more stretch, you can bend the left knee, dropping those knees further to the right, having a little more stretch. And if it feels okay, you could bring the right arm back toward the left, flipping that hand and interlacing the fingers. Notice where you can let go. Extend the left leg out, releasing the right hand back to the mat. Gently roll back onto the belly, bringing the palms underneath the forehead or the hands underneath the forehead. Resting here for a moment. Let's bring the hands underneath the shoulders. We'll press back into table pose. To a little cat-cow. And then as it feels okay, you can either shift into reclined puppy. Arms extended out, hips stacked over the knees, forehead to the mat. Or shift the hips down toward the heels. You can also place a blanket behind the knees or a bolster as a support for the knees. Finding a position that feels comfortable and supported for you. Breathe into the spine. Creating space between the vertebrae. Release the weight of the body to the earth. And gently rocking forward onto the hands. Let's tuck the toes under and press the hips up and back into downward dog. Walking those heels out, one and then the other. Releasing through the calves. Softening the knees, pressing high with the hips. Heels floating low. Chin gently away from the chest. Rolling the shoulder blades back toward each other. And we externally rotate the shoulders by rolling them back like that. It helps to relieve the strain in the shoulder joint. Notice if your elbows are locked and have them gently softened. And looking up toward the hands, let's walk or jump your feet up toward the hands. Bringing the feet hip width apart. We'll soften the knees. Drop the hips. Lifting the torso, coming into Uttanasana chair pose. Pressing the toes, spreading the toes wide, pressing the feet into the mat. Really putting a little bit more weight onto the heels. If it feels okay, you could lift the arms up toward the sky, or you can bring the elbows back out into cactus. And if you notice that your shoulders have been kind of rounding forward, coming into cactus is a nice way to remind our shoulder blades where they need to sit on our back. And let's bring our hands to the heart. And we'll add a twist if that feels okay. Bringing the left elbow onto the outside of the right knee. Turning the torso toward the right, twisting. If that doesn't feel accessible, you can also bring the outside of the wrist onto the outside of the knee and open the arms wide. So find a position that feels right for you in this moment. And then think about rooting into both feet and lengthening through the spine, twisting through the ribs. With your next inhale, we'll come back to center. Let's fold over Uttanasana, forward bend. Dropping the chin, releasing the back of the neck. Knees are slightly bent, hips reaching up high. If you'd like to have a block here under the hands for a little more support, please add that. Bending the knees, dropping the hips, we'll come back into Uttanasana chair pose. Again, adjusting arms, hands at the heart, cactus, or arms up by the ears. We just want to make sure that we're not having them like straight in front and a rounded back. So it's better to do another modification. And we'll add the twist. Hands coming to the heart, twisting to the left, bringing the right elbow on the outside of the right knee, twisting through the ribs, or bringing the outside of the wrist onto the outside of the knee and opening the arms wide. Finding that position that feels right for you. Dropping the hips as much as it feels okay, lengthening through the spine, twisting through the ribs. And then coming back to the center and folding over Uttanasana, forward bend. Soft knees, root through the feet, lift high through the hips, adding the block underneath the hands for support as needed. Soften the knees, and with your next inhale, sweep the arms out and up, palms together over the head. Exhale, hands to the heart. All right. Let's keep the block, or keep a block near the top of the mat. We're going to work with half moon today. We'll start with warrior two. Feet are nice and wide. Right toes pointing toward the short end of the mat. Left heel drops back. Hips facing toward that front left corner of the mat. We'll inhale the arms out at shoulder height. Exhale, bending that right knee. Taking a peek down to make sure the knee is stacked over the ankle and isn't pulling in or out. Rooting through both feet, lifting the heart and softening the shoulders. Vision over the right hand. Feel that connection to the earth through the feet. Those roots going down through the feet into the earth. Breathing up whatever you need in this moment. Filling up your heart and spirit. And if there's any overflowing, sending that out into the world. Let's drop the left hand to the left leg. Turn the right palm up toward the sky and reach the fingertips up toward the sky. And we're going to bring the forearm to the thigh, rotating the torso to face the wall. You can keep the hand at the low back or sweep it up by the right ear, left ear. Having the fingertips, the pinky finger on the bottom helps to keep that energetic flow from the foot all the way to the fingers. And with your next inhale, turn to face the mat, sweep the hands across and up. Then we're going to shift our weight onto that right leg, bringing the left leg closer. Having the block about a foot away. It can be tallest, medium, or lowest, whatever you need for today. We're going to shift our weight onto that right foot. Knee is slightly bent, hips are staying open. Toes of the left foot on the mat. We're going to reach that right hand down toward the block or floor and lift the left leg to the side. Rotating that left shoulder back. Flexing the left foot to help engage the leg. And if it feels okay, floating that left arm up toward the sky. You can also do this against a wall for support. Woo. And come down when you need to, catching yourself with the wiggles. Flexing that left foot, reaching through the fingertips, rooting through the foot and hand. Imagine yourself flying through the sky, like the half. And we'll bring that left foot down, coming back up tall. Let's step wide and take a forward fold, wide leg forward fold. Soften through the back, soften through the knees, release the back of the neck. Then we'll bend the knees, sweep the arms out and up, palms together over the head, and hands to the heart. We'll bring our block to the other side where our left foot is. The left foot pointing toward the short end of the mat, right heel drops back. Hips open to the front right corner of the mat. I'm having such right and left trouble today. I don't know what's going on. Inhale the arms out at shoulder height. Exhale, bending the left knee, taking a peek down to make sure the knee is stacked over the ankle, and then bringing the vision over the left hand. Lifting the heart, shoulders are down the back, rooting into the feet, connecting down through the floor into the earth. Again, drawing up whatever energy you need from the earth, filling up your heart and spirit, and letting any overflow flow out to someone you know in need. We'll drop the right hand to the back leg, turn the left palm up, and reach the hand up toward the sky. Reverse warrior. Then we'll bring the forearm to the thigh, rotating the torso to face the wall. You can keep the hand at the low back or sweep it in front of the body, reaching the fingertips toward the sky. Rooting through that right heel as you reach through the fingertips. And then turning to face the floor, sweep the hand across with your inhale, lifting up tall and floating the hands down. We'll step that right leg a little closer to the left and make sure our block is placed about a foot away from the left foot. We'll bend that left knee, come onto the toes of the right foot, finding our focus spot on the floor. Bring that left hand to the block or floor. Lift the right leg out to the side here. Flexing the foot, rotating the torso to face the wall. Hand stays on the hip or floats up toward the sky. Tucking the shoulder blades, lengthening through the spine, rooting through the left hand and foot. Keeping that left knee slightly bent to help catch the wiggles. And remembering if you tip over, that's fine. Just bring yourself back into the pose again or rest. With your next inhale, we'll lift up tall, coming back to both feet. Having those legs nice and wide, we'll sweep the arms out and up. And exhale, fold forward, wide-legged forward bend. Soften the knees, release the back of the neck, lengthen through the low back. If you'd like your block under your hands here, please go ahead and add that. Walk the hands or block over toward the right leg. Hands on the floor, block or leg, turning the torso to face the thigh as you lengthen down over the leg. Rooting into the right heel as you lift up through the right hip. And if it feels okay, you could sweep that right arm up, adding a little twist. We'll float the hand down, walk back through the center and to the left. Hands on the floor, block or leg. Turning the torso to face the thigh, lengthening down over the leg. Rooting through the heel, pressing up through the hip. Stay here, or if it feels okay, sweep the left arm up. Coming back to the center. We'll walk the feet closer toward each other, stopping just outside of hip width apart. You can add the block in the center behind the heels. We'll bend the knee, bringing the hands to the heart, coming into a high Malasana squat, pressing into the feet. And if it feels okay for your knees, you could lower down onto the block or by hips by the heels, or also open the legs, or excuse me, come a little further down and then open the legs a little wider, all the way onto the floor. Lengthening through the spine, pressing the elbows or upper arms into the thighs or knees. Noticing where you can let go through the hips, perhaps through the neck and shoulders. And then we'll come all the way down to the mat, meeting in cross-legged. Lengthening the spine up tall, shoulders back and down, heart lifted. With your next inhaling breath, reach through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, drop the right ear over the right shoulder, tucking the right shoulder back and down, breathing into the left side of the neck. If it feels okay, you could bring the left hand to the mat, walking the fingers away. Gently pulling a little more through the neck, letting go. With your next inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, dropping the left ear over the left shoulder, tucking the shoulder back and down, breathing into the right side of the neck. And if it feels okay, bringing the right hand to the mat, walking the fingers away, and gently breathing. And bring the hand back to the leg, coming back to the center. With your next exhale, turn the chin over the right shoulder. Shoulders are back and down, heart lifted. Hold and breathe. With your next inhale, back to center. And as you exhale, turn the chin over the left shoulder, shoulders back and down, heart lifted. Hold and breathe. And with your next inhale, back to the center. And let the breath go. Let's bend the knees, coming to the center of the mat. Pull around the spine and roll onto the back. Tucking the shoulders under. We'll lift the feet up toward the sky. You can rock your hands or a block underneath the hips. Arms alongside the body, shoulders tucked under. Ankles and knees are relaxed as you breathe into the body, the belly. And if your hands are under your hips, then don't worry about that arm direction. Gently letting go. We'll bend the knees, walking the hands or block out from underneath the hips. And then hugging the knees in toward the torso. You can rock from side to side, massaging the low back, or draw the knees in and out, making small circles. Reversing if you're making circles. And then we'll do one last twist, arms out to the side, knees together, gently dropping to the right, vision to the left. And with your next inhale, coming back to the center, exhale, lowering to the right. I'm sorry, left vision to the right. And with your next inhale, coming back to the center. You can walk the feet out to the edges of the mat, resting the knees together, or extend the legs out, going into Shavasana. You can also have a bolster or blanket underneath the knees. And if you like to gently cover up to keep the warmth in your body as you relax, you can do that as well. If your legs are extended, feet are about hip width apart. Arms slightly away from the body with the palms turned up. Relax your forehead. Soften your eyes. Loosen your jaw. Gently bring your awareness to the breath, allowing each inhale to fill you with a sense of peace and calm, allowing each exhale to release anything that no longer serves you. Let each breath fill your heart with loving kindness for yourself. Sending that loving kindness to each and every cell of your body. Honoring all of who you are in this moment. If you would like to receive Reiki through the rest of Shavasana, just open yourself to it. And if not, allow it to return to you. gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Pardon me. Stretch in whatever way feels comfortable for you. When you're ready, you can bend your knees, roll to your side and rest there for a moment. And then gently return to a seated position. We'll end with a metta blessing of loving kindness. Please feel free to join me. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings have peace. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. May all beings be free. The light in me honors the light in you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. For our world, for our community, and for our house. Thank you so much for joining me today and taking time for yourself.